This is Houston Newsmakers Extra. I'm talking with Gilbert Garcia, the managing partner of Garcia, Hamilton & Associates, and also a candidate for mayor. We've been talking about that. You talked about some of the concerns you have. What do you think is going to be the first challenge that you're going to take on? What do you think is the thing that you think needs to be fixed the most?
Sure. First, public safety is the number one issue, by far. And so people don't feel safe, and then people want the firefighter situation solved. That's the number one issue. If you look at the first, let's pretend 100 days. Number one, you got to look at community policing and try to bring back more community policing. If you look at the firefighter model, what's the fastest way to get to a fire? They have stations throughout the city. Well, what's the fastest way to get to a crime? Well, let's follow the same model and put community policing throughout the city. I have traveled throughout the city. It's enormous. And when you travel, you don't see much visibility of law enforcement. Why? It's just so huge. So I think that's one of the things. If you look at the first 100 days, so to speak, let me frame it that way, I would immediately audit the health and housing department.
Why is that?
Because the government has already intervened and essentially raided both. There's clearly something there. And remember, you've had two chief aides of the mayor, both indicted. One have already pled guilty to bribery, all related to some of these departments. I would audit them right away, because I wouldn't want to wait for the FBI or the DA to tell me what's wrong. I want to get in there and clean it up so more wrong doesn't happen. The second thing I would do is I would go through the procurement process and do a complete overhaul. And I have a model to follow already, because we did this at Metro. Remember, I was chairman of Metro, and we were in a difficult situation at the same time. The whole solution isn't to throw stones at people in the past and make and look at their decisions. The whole thing is to look forward. And so we quickly, methodically put transparency as a front and center at Metro. We got our hands around financials, all of those things. Same thing for the city. On the transparency side, a lot of people are concerned that they don't understand where a lot of money is going. I would put the check registry online immediately, and I would put the check registry from back periods online immediately, so the citizens can see where their tax dollars are being spent. And I wouldn't wait for this whole amendment that's coming forward to the citizens about council members having more influence. If you look at Metro, when I was chairman of Metro, anytime any one of my members on my board wanted something on the agenda, I put it on. Why? Because I'd rather talk about it openly so the public can hear the dialogue than in the back room. And so that's what I would do. There's got to be a lot more transparency. If council members want to discuss something openly, we should do that.
You've got a lot of competition in this race for mayor. You
Yes,
know
sir.
that. Some names that are pretty big: Whitmire, Jackson Lee, Amanda, they've all been officials, elected officials. On the program, you were talking about maybe you don't need career politicians doing this, but what is your challenge to try to overcome some of the name recognition and maybe checkbooks that they have? I don't know what they're doing with their fundraising.
Sure.
But
Yeah, at the end of the day, I have great respect for all of them. And in my view, the more qualified candidates in this race, the better. Why? Because the citizens of Houston need to hear the issues, they need to get it clearly, and we need the media to give it more attention, the attention it deserves. Because this is a big city, we're facing big challenges, and everything I've said so far has nothing to do with one of the biggest looming challenges, which is a pending recession. Our view as a firm, and that's what we do for a living, is a recession is coming probably right now. So the next mayor is going to face all these challenges, including a recession, and including fixing some of the decisions that have already been made. Primarily, the city has been spending money it doesn't have. What have they been doing to plug the hole, which they have to do every year by law, is they've been using one-time stimulus dollars. Well, those dollars are going to be gone now, but yet some of these obligations are pending. It's going to be a very difficult situation. So, and that's why, in my view, you need someone, the next mayor is going to be more than ever, need to be someone that has no ties, so they can make tough decisions, someone that has a clear grasp of numbers and mathematics and budgets and finances. It doesn't sound sexy, but those are the biggest issues that we need, because without getting our financial fiscal house in order, we can't do the things the citizens want.
So you said something about recession. I know this is not in the mayor's
Yes,
category, but recession is what a lot of people talk about, but the economy seems to still be going well, and they keep raising the interest rates. But you think, regardless of what we're seeing apart as far as a, quote, hot economy is concerned, there's still a recession coming?
There is. Why? Because if you look, remember, things like employment, unemployment, with things that people talk about day to day, those are backward looking. If you look forward looking, like things like leading indicators, things like money supply. Remember, the more money in the system, the more the economy will grow, or inflation, one or the other or both. Money supply, meaning the amount of money out in the system, has plummeted. In fact, it has plummeted so much, we haven't seen money supply this low since the Depression. And money is what makes the economy grow. So if you look forward, money supply is telling us a recession is coming. The other thing is the shape of the yield curve, meaning short interest rates are much higher than long interest rates. That gap is the widest it's ever been since the early 1980s. That's another precursor for a recession. All these forward-looking indicators are telling us a recession is coming. And the last thing the Fed should be doing, the Federal Reserve, which controls short-term interest rates, is raise more rates. They should stop raising rates. In fact, they should already start cutting rates.
Wow. Okay.
Imagine all of that.
I know.
So it's not just the normal things, potholes, public safety, but it's the hole we've dug. It is all these things that, in my view, are really a mark of competence. Housing department, health department, all of these things, and then a pending recession, all those combined. So that's why we don't need another sort of career politician. We really don't. We need someone that has a firm grasp of numbers and that's in a position to make the tough choices for the betterment of the city.
Gilbert Garcia, thank you very much, sir. Managing partner, Garcia Hamilton and Associates, and current candidate for mayor. And the official kickoff is when again?
June the 6th. June the 5th.
June the 5th. Be there or be square.
Thank you, Kimber. Thank you for the opportunity.
Always good to see you, Gilbert. Hey, this is Newsmakers Extra. Share it with everybody you know.